Hello, and welcome to another episode of 5 Minutes with Freed. I'm your host, Michael Freed. I'm a litigation partner in the matrimonial and family law firm of Berkman, Botker, Newman, and Shine, with offices in New York City, Westchester, and Long Island. And today, my special guest is Melinda Gould. So, Melinda, welcome to 5 Minutes with Freed.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
So, Melinda, tell us, what do you do?
I am a divorce consultant, which means that I help guide people going through the divorce process. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a therapist, I am not a financial advisor, but as I like to joke, I play all three on television. Um, so people come to me at the beginning of the process before they've even decided to divorce and are contemplating it, or they've are and looking for a lawyer, or just trying to understand how it works. And then I work with people all the way through the process until they're done, and sometimes things afterwards. I like to say that if you have never been through something, how would you have any idea how to do it? Whether it's a home renovation, whether it's a parent with dementia, and you need to turn to people who can help guide you.
Okay. So, Melinda, you know that I'm a matrimonial family law attorney.
Right.
When would my clients most often require your services?
Um, some will require them before they've even met you, as they're trying to figure out how do I hire a lawyer? What is the right match? I liked Michael, but does he make sense for my situation? So I do a lot of work with clients on the beginning side to say, like, what is your situation financially, child care wise, custody wise, rather, and also what is your spouse like? Because there is a matching game that happens.
Right.
You see on Facebook all day long, people are like, I want a shark. I'm like, we don't really know if that's whatever that even means, right? You want to be able to be aggressive if necessary. So I work with people beforehand, helping them interview a few people, as you would take, as I said, a friend with you to a surgeon to ask questions. I played that role. And then once someone has retained you and is working with you, I work very closely in partnership actually with the attorneys and the other professionals to be part of that team.
So, Melinda, what's the best way for a prospective client or other professional like myself to contact you?
Thank you. There are two ways actually. One thing I didn't mention is I wear a second hat, which is I run a company called Untied, and that can be found at untied.net. And it's an extraordinary community. It's this that in particular is just for women in it in the middle of it or and afterwards. So you can reach me there. And I just want to put a shout out for that because that's something that is so affordable and available to everyone. It's education, like talking to people like you about different issues, as well actual just community of women who have been through and who you can share everything with and who aren't going to judge you. I think that's very important. So you can reach me at Untied and then otherwise my own website at melindabgould.com.
Perfect. So now, Melinda Gould, we've now come to the most
Ha.
important part of our show, and that happens to be the question of the week.
Mm.
So, Melinda Gould, this is your question of the week. If you opened a business tomorrow that had nothing to do with your current career, what would it be and why?
That is such an incredibly fun question to have to think about, and I have an answer for you. I
Okay.
would open a real old-fashioned neighborhood ice cream parlor.
Oh,
The kind with a soda fountain and checkerboard floors where regulars know each other and kids come in after school. I just think even, certainly from my work, I see the need, but people are just craving places that are personal and joyful. Like now I'm dating myself, but like the Woolworths in my neighborhood growing up. But in this case, I think I'd have a bingo night. Um, and it would be I would also have a great little retail section with all my favorite goods because I love great new products. I was a party supply provider before I was a divorce consultant. That's a longer story. And that was after um, being an investment banker. So it hasn't been a logical route. So I think an ice cream parlor is obviously the next natural step.
well, I think that's an amazing answer, and I'd love to visit it if it existed. But
Excellent.
Melinda Gould, you've said it all. You are helping people through difficult times in divorce, and I want to thank you for being a wonderful guest on 5 Minutes with Freed.
Michael, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.